it was pretty insane.
Yeah.
But
Were you floored by his kind of presence and cool and
oh, aye, definitely. It's one of these things where, like, you hear it's oh nah, I'm not really into like the gun stuff. It's like it's martial arts. That's the cool stuff. It's
yeah,
like I didn't care about gunfight. That's just probably all Hollywood stuff.
yeah,
And then you see that it's your jaw drops
yeah.
when you see
It really
that
does.
stuff.
He made that impression on people and still makes that.
Could that be a movie reference right there? A poster for Nightmare on Elm Street, where people's getting
God.
killed in their dreams.
I've never noticed that. That's pretty clever. Because
That has to be.
Sam Raimi and Wes Craven did that back and forth referencing in their movies. And Evil Dead, there's a torn poster of the Hills of Ice, and they did that a few more times. But I bet they didn't know Lau Kar-wing did it as well.
Mhm. But
But
when
he didn't get a reference back. I believe they didn't put a poster of Scared Stiff in like Darkman or what have you.
Mhm. It'll get, if anything, it would have easily could have been films like King Boxer. Like that was the films that made it over there.
Yeah, exactly. But I
But
doubt they knew of Lau Kar-wing. They just knew maybe more of Lolit than anything else.
yeah,
And with Charing Fat for me, he was the guy that I saw
this
mostly.
is insane for some poor wee bastard going through.
Yeah. So some good stunt work, and we'll talk a little bit about Yuen Wah, who was the action director on the film. And here's the reveal. If you didn't know it,
Dum
and
da
you're a
dum.
fucking retard if you
There's the fucking brilliant shot of the movie.
the trailer ends on that, I believe.
It's like, what did you see, Mr. Mao? It's like,
And you know what? The trailer ends on that. The trailer basically reveals everything,
mhm.
essentially.
It's that fucking cold, icy smile of like a six-time Best Actor award.
Well, it's great to have this performance versus a lot of the classics. And you know what? My experience at the beginning with Charing Fat, I saw a few of the Made in Hong Kong tape releases, and Charing Fat seemed to be in every one of those, even though I only bought like 5 or 6 initially. But
Mhm,
I got such an appreciation for him as part of the gangster genre.
mhm,
City on Fire, Rich and Famous, and Tragic Hero, even like standard stuff.
mhm. And that's the funny thing, because like those movies and Scared Stiff, Scared Stiff is actually like one of 11 movies Chow Yun Fat done in 1987.
But
Like this, it really was like his prestigious year in the sense like he had done films such as An Autumn's Tale, City on Fire, A Better Tomorrow 2, and of course Prison on Fire.
yeah, my God, what a year! I think
Hmm.
that in '88 is his prime years, essentially.
Exactly. And it's like if you really did have to focus on any years, like this is the prime candidates, and you can't miss out Scared Stiff amongst that.
And '88, that's essentially his camp year. I think because at
Oh,
least Diary of a Big Man was either '87 or '88, but Diary of a Big Man and Eighth Happiness, that's like Chain Fat camping it up, and he's such a force. He's like a
it
tornado in those
is.
films.
It is one of the things like, oh my lord. It's like if you're doing the Chow Yun Fat double bill with City on Fire and Eighth Happiness,
Yeah.
it's
And
so
that's the
brilliant.
kind of thing I like about. I think he's been quoted after doing a speech at a university or college or whatever that you have to find whatever work you can, and it certainly is true for Chainfat's career. He found whatever work he could, and Scared Stiff, yeah, it's a payday, it's a well earned, easily earned paycheck, but you know what? I like that it sticks out in his filmography because there was nothing like this in
Mhm,
Chainfat's filmography at this point. In his early filmography,
mhm,
this was evident. He did like that movie Pursuit, a very early, very bad movie by Wong Tin Lam, written by Wong Jing, where he plays a killer with glasses, kind of a hitman,
mhm.
and it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing.
I
But
think it's really one of these films where it's like he had to have liked this film because
yeah,
like it looks like it would be such a fun role to play like from everything else he done that year.
yeah,
This must have been fun.
yeah, and actors like that. They like when they can sink their teeth into something, and boy, does he ever sink his teeth into that.
Hmm.
And, you know, an example of
It's like how? Wait, forget continuity.
Yeah.
Just enjoy.
Exactly. Stuart Ong here in the bed. Stuart Ong, people may recognize from Hong Kong 1941.
It's one of those subtitle things like "Get up, sisters, it's time for work." Whoa,
Uh-oh.
mind blowing.
No wonder he
But
gets killed. Don't fuck your sister! But an example of China
don't eat the fucking wedding cake.
snack.
Slab of cake all day, bro.
Yeah, on a sharp knife.
Yeah, it's like, I'll just lick off this knife. Oh yes, this way, of course.
Oh my god!
That.
You.
Aye, pointing will do it. That'll fix everything.
And this is a shocking moment. To be honest, it's not just. It has a gore moment. It's a gore.
It's one of these. It is one of those moments where my partner's like, "What?" It is like, "What the fuck?" And he's like,
I know.
Yuen Wah is fucking evil.
I know.
It's like,
And but you know what? The example of why Giant Fat is such a great workhorse and a great example of if you put your mind to it, if you work a lot, then it sort of will pay off and you will gain respect. They released a movie in 87 or 88 when he broke called Goodbye My Friend. It was called that during the re-release. A movie he shot in Thailand at least 8 years earlier. And he went in and dubbed his voice because they did a new Cantonese track for it. And he went in and dubbed his voice. He dubs his voice was Scared Stiff as well. And I like that because it takes time to schedule like a quick dubbing job as well.
See, this is the worst wake-up call ever. I mean, come on. I usually like a cup of tea. Like a
samurai
sword poking me in the arse.
But it's a weak samurai sword because what does Kaipat do? He slices that in half or 2 pieces with his little tiny knife.
But I think we should probably still mention Anita Moy for while she is, because I don't think she survives this encounter.
No, she doesn't.
Of course, Anita Moy is like one of the greatest female Hong Kong actresses there was. She did pass away in December 2003.
Yeah, it was New Year's Eve or 30th of December, I think.
Yeah, it was of cervical cancer, which she'd only announced publicly in September. So came to a shock that it was that sudden she passed.
It's a cap to a really tough year in Hong Kong. SARS, Leslie Jones, suicide, and Anita Moy at the end of the year.
Yeah, but she definitely left some memorable performances in such movies as like Drunken Master 2, where she plays Jackie's mother.
She's extremely funny in that movie.
It's brilliant. That one scene where Jackie's fighting after the thugs steal the handbag, and she does run up and jump, catches the bag, and then just kind of sorts her dress, like gives her modesty.
It's one of those Jackie shots that. If Lau Kar-wing wasn't directing that shot, it was Jackie doing like 500 takes just to get that right.
Aye.
But it's all worth it. He's very funny, and the Asian Madonna, she's always called, and I guess that connects more to her singing career than anything else.
Exactly.
As she's probably been looking quite different from year to year, from month to month, or day to day. But I never heard too much of her music, but she had a wonderful deep voice, though.
Aye.
Her theme from A Better Tomorrow 3, that the closest to film, that film is really great and just a wonderful voice. But I'm kind of sad that it doesn't get enough mention. It is considered a classic, but I'm kind of sad it doesn't get mentioned more, and it doesn't get a classic treatment on like a Criterion DVD or something. And it's Stanley Kwan's Rouge.
Aye. It's one of those films I've never even gotten around to seeing either, but it is the movie to mention when it comes to actresses like Anita Moy. Yeah.
She plays this ghost that's still walking the land of the living because she makes a suicide pact with Leslie Cheung early in the film, and she hasn't reincarnated with him. She's still looking for him, and she turns up in modern day. And it's really atmospheric. It's a wonderful film. It's can't say enough about it. It really deserves a commentary on its own. Greatest Stanley Kwan movie ever, made in 1987 and produced by Jackie Chan. So you have it like Jackie's producing skills. But here's Yuen Wah, and there's Anita Moy. Bye bye. And you know what? It's not unexpected either to have Anita Mui turn up in a small role like this. She never did anything akin to it.